Cocci. Round-shaped bacteria that appear singly, alone, or in groups. Staphylococci. Pus-forming bacteria that grow in clusters like a bunch of grapes. They cause abscesses, pustules, and boils or staph. Spirilla. Spiral or corkscrew-shaped bacteria diseases syphilis and Lyme. Streptococci. Pus-forming bacteria arranged in curved lines resembling a string of beads. Diplococci. Spherical bacteria that grow in pairs. Diseases pneumonia. Bacilli. Short rod-shaped bacteria. Diseases tetanus, lockjaw, typhoid fever, tuberculosis, and diphtheria. Pityriasis capitis simplex. Dry dandruff. Pityriasis. Steatoids. Waxy or greasy dandruff. Head lice are a type of parasite responsible for contagious diseases and conditions. One condition caused by an infestation of head lice is called pediculosis capitis. Scabies. Mites that burrow under the skin. Tinea barbae. Barber's itch ringworm on the bread superficial fungal. Tinea favosa, also known as Tinea favis, honeycomb ringworm, having a peculiar musty odor. Tinea capitis. Fungal infection, red papules or spots opening of hair follicles. Ringworms on the head. Acne, also known as acne vulgaris, is a skin disorder characterized by chronic inflammation of the sebaceous glands from retained secretions. Rosacea, previously called acne rosacea, is a chronic condition that appears primarily on the cheeks and nose. Bulla, large blister containing a water fluid, similar to a vesicle, requires medical referral. Contact dermatitis, large second-degree burns, bullous impetigo, pemphigus. Open comedo, also known as a blackhead, is a hair follicle filled with keratin and sebum. Comedones appear most frequently on the face, especially in the T-zone, the center of their face. Crust, dead cells that form over a wound or blemish while healing. Accumulation of sebum and pus, sometimes mixed with epidermal cells. Cyst and tubercle, closed, abnormally developed sac that contains pus, semi-fluid, or morbid matter above or below the skin. A cyst can be drained of fluid and a tubercle cannot. Requires medical referral. Cyst, severe acne. Tubercle, lipoma, erythema nodosum. Excoriation, skin sore or abrasion produced by scratching or scraping. Nail cuticle damage from nail biting. Fissure, crack in the skin that penetrates the dermis. Severely cracked hands or lips. Keloid, a thick scar resulting from excessive growth of fibrous tissue that will form along any type of scar for people susceptible to these. Macule, flat spot or discoloration on the skin. Freckle or liver spot. Milia are benign, keratin-filled cysts that appear just under the epidermis and have no visible opening. Nodule, a solid bump larger than 0.4 inches, 1 centimeter, that can be easily felt. Requires medical referral. Pustule, raised, inflamed, Papule with a white or yellow center containing pus in the top of the lesion. Acne, impetigo, folliculitis. Papule. A small elevation on the skin that contains no fluid, but may develop pus. Acne, warts, elevated nevi. Scale. Thin, dry, or oily plate of epidermal flakes. Excessive dandruff. Psoriasis. Scar or cicatrix. Slightly raised or depressed mark on the skin formed after an injury or a lesion of the skin has healed. Postoperative repair. Seborrheic dermatitis, or seborrhea, is a skin condition caused by an inflammation of the sebaceous glands and is often characterized by redness, dry or oily scaling, crusting, and/or itchy. Tumor. Abnormal mass varying in size, shape, and color. Any type of abnormal mass, not always cancer. Requires medical referral. Cancer. Ulcer. Open lesion on the skin or mucous membrane of the body, accompanied by loss of skin depth and possibly weeping of fluids or pus. Requires medical referral, particularly for clients with underlying medical conditions such as diabetes, chickenpox, herpes. Vesicle. Small blister or sac containing clear fluid, lying within or just beneath the epidermis. Requires medical referral if cause is unknown or untreatable with over-the-counter products. Poison ivy, poison oak. Wheal. An itchy, swollen lesion that can be caused by a blow, scratch, bite of an insect or urticaria, skin allergy, or the sting of a nettle. Typically resolves on its own, but referral to a physician should be considered when the condition lasts more than 3 days. Hives, mosquito bites. Muscles of the head, face, and neck. Epicranius. Frontalis. Epicranial aponeurosis. Temporalis. Occipitalis. Orbicularis oculi. Auricularis superior. Auricularis posterior. Auricularis anterior. Buccinator. Masseter. Orbicularis oris. Sternocleidomastoideus. Trapezius. Platysma. Muscles of the face. Frontalis. Corrugato. Procerus. Temporalis. Orbicularis oculi. Nasalis. Levator anguli. Levator labii superioris. Zygomaticus minor. Zygomaticus major. Buccinator. Levator anguli oris. Risorius. Masseter. Orbicularis oris. Platysma. Depressor labii inferioris. Depressor anguli oris. Mentalis. Bones of the cranium and the face. Parietal bone. Frontal bone. Occipital bone. Temporal bone. Sphenoid bone. Ethmoid bone. Lacrimal bone. Nasal bone. Zygomatic bone. Maxilla. Mandible. Did you know? Histology, also known as microscopic anatomy, is the study of tiny structures found in living tissues. Osteology is the study of anatomy, structure, and function of the bones. OS means bones. Myology is the study of the structure, functioning, and diseases of the muscles. The central nervous system, CNS, consists of the brain, cranial nerves, spinal cord, and spinal nerves. It controls consciousness and all mental activities, the functions of the five senses, and voluntary muscle actions, including all body movements and facial expressions. The peripheral nervous system, PNS, is made up of sensory and motor nerve fibers that extend from the brain and spinal cord to all parts of the body. Their function is to carry impulses or messages to and from the central nervous system. Subdivisions of the peripheral nervous system are the autonomic and somatic nervous systems, which control involuntary and voluntary functions and actions. Nerves of the head, face, and neck. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. All are connected to a part of the brain surface. They emerge through openings on the sides and base of the cranium and reach various parts of the head, face, and neck. The largest of the cranial nerves is the fifth cranial nerve, also known as trifacial nerve or trigeminal nerve. It is the chief sensory nerve of the face and serves as the motor nerve of the muscles that control chewing. It consists of 3 branches. Ophthalmic nerve supplies impulses to the skin of the forehead, upper eyelids, and interior portion of the scalp, orbit, eyeball, and nasal passage. Mandibular nerve affects the muscles of the chin, lower lip, and external ear. Maxillary nerve supplies impulses to the upper part of the face. Arteries, thick-walled, muscular, flexible tubes that carry oxygenated blood away from the heart to the arterioles. Veins, thin-walled blood vessels that are less elastic than arteries. Veins contain cup-like valves that keep blood flowing in one direction to the heart and prevent blood from flowing backward. Veins carry blood containing waste products back to the heart and lungs for cleaning and to pick up oxygen. Veins are located closer to the outer skin surface of the body than arteries. Muscle tissue contracts and moves various parts of the body. Nerve tissue carries messages to and from the brain and controls and coordinates all bodily functions. Nerve tissue is composed of special cells known as neurons that make up the nerves, brain, and spinal cord. Corrugator muscle. Muscle located beneath the frontalis and orbicularis oculi muscle that draws the eyebrow down and wrinkles the forehead vertically. Procerus covers the top of the nose, depresses the eyebrow, and causes wrinkles across the bridge of the nose. Muscles of mastication, chewing. The main muscles of mastication, also known as the chewing muscles, are the following. Masseter, temporalis. These muscles coordinate to open and close the mouth and bring the jaw forward or backward, assisted by the pterygoid muscles. Epicranius, also known as occipitofrontalis. Broad muscle that covers the top of the skull and consists of the occipitalis and frontalis. Occipitalis. Back, posterior, portion of the epicranius, the muscle that draws the scalp backward. Frontalis. Front, anterior, portion of the epicranius, the muscle of the scalp that raises the eyebrows, draws the scalp forward, and causes wrinkles across the forehead. Epicranial aponeurosis. Tendon that connects the occipitalis and frontalis muscles. The EPA registration number is prominently displayed. The label indicates hospital grade and or if it is bactericidal, virucidal, and fungicidal on label. The label shows the disinfectant's efficacy list. What does it kill? Look for HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, HBV, hepatitis B virus, and MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, at the very least. Bactericidal. Capable of destroying bacteria. Virucidal. Capable of destroying viruses. Fungicidal. Capable of destroying molds and fungi. High porosity. Hair may not only absorb the color product quickly, but also tend to fade quickly due to its inability to hold color pigments. The hair will feel very rough, dry, or may break during a porosity test. Average porosity. The cuticle is slightly raised and the hair tends to process normally. You should feel a slight roughness to the hair during a porosity test. Low porosity. The cuticle is tight, making the hair more resistant to chemical penetration and may require a longer time to penetrate the hair shaft or a higher volume of developer for its strength. The hair will feel smooth and/or hard during a porosity test. Testing for hair porosity. The porosity of the hair can be checked by holding multiple strands of dry hair between the fingers while sliding the thumb and forefinger of the other hand down toward the scalp. If the hair feels smooth and the cuticle is compact, it is considered resistant. If you can feel a slight roughness or the imbrications of the cuticle scales, the hair is porous. Should the hair break or feel very rough, the hair is probably overporous. Hair texture. Classified as coarse, medium, or fine. Coarse texture. Largest diameter. Loosely grouped melanin granules. It is more resistant. Medium texture. Most common/normal. Does not usually pose any special problems or concerns during a haircut. Fine hair. Some fine or very fine hair does not possess a medulla. Smaller diameter of the strand. Process faster and more easily. Melanin granules grouped tightly. Testing for hair texture. Hair texture can be determined by feeling a single strand of dry hair between the fingers. Hold the strand securely with one hand while rolling it between the thumb and forefinger of the other hand. With practice, you will be able to feel the difference between coarse, medium, and fine hair textures. Hair density. Classified as thick, average, or thin, or as high, medium, or low density. Individual hair strands per square inch of scalp. Testing for hair elasticity. Gently tug a few strands of clean, wet hair as shown in. Hair with normal elasticity will stretch and return to its original length without breaking. Curly or wavy hair may stretch up to 50% of its original length and return to that length without breaking. Hair that breaks easily or fails to return to its normal length has low elasticity. Where to use the free hand stroke. 6 out of 14 shaving positions. 1, 3, 4, 8, 11, and 12. Freehand position. Where to use the reverse freehand stroke. For out of the 14, 5, 10, 13, and 14. Reverse freehand position. Where to use the backhand stroke. For out of the 14, 2, 6, 7, 9. Backhand position. Where to use the freehand stroke. 6 out of 14 shaving strokes. 1, 3, 4, 8, 11, and 12. Freehand stroke. Where to use the backhand stroke. For out of the 14, 2, 6, 7, 9. Backhand position. Where to use the reverse freehand stroke. For out of the 14, 5, 10, 13, and 14. Reverse freehand position. Facial steamer. Preparation. 1. Assemble supplies. 2. Pour distilled water into the steamer and allow the unit to preheat. 3. Wash your hands. 4. Perform client consultation. 5. Drape the client so that the neck and shoulders are protected from steam or dripping water. 6. Recline the chair and cover the client's hair with a towel or plastic cap. 7. Analyze the client's skin. Use a magnifying light to analyze the skin. Facial massage manipulations. Preparation. 1. Assemble supplies. 2. Wash your hands. 3. Perform client consultation. For drape the client, recline the chair, and cover the client's hair with a towel or plastic cap. 5. Analyze the client's skin. Use a magnifying light to analyze the skin. Facial massage. Preparation. Assemble supplies. 2. Wash your hands. 3. Perform client consultation. For drape the client, recline the chair, and cover the client's hair with towel or plastic cap. 5. Analyze the client's skin using a magnifying light. 1. Remove the massage cream from container with a clean spatula. Disperse the product over your hands and apply the cream lightly over the client's face with stroking, spreading, and circulatory movements. 2. Stroke your fingers across the client's forehead with up and down movements. 3. Manipulate fingers across the forehead using circular movements. 4. Stroke fingers upward along the sides of the nose. 5. Work the circular movements up using a light stroking movement between and around the eyes. 6. Manipulate the temples and then the front and back of the ears with larger circular movements. 7. Gently stroke both thumbs across the upper lip from center to corners. 8. Manipulate fingers from the corners of the mouth to the cheeks and temples with a circular movement. Start next set of rotations from the tip of the chin through jaw area to the ear using same technique. 9. Manipulate fingers from under the chin and neck to the back of the ears and up to the temples. 10. Remove massage cream with a warm towel and pat dry. 11. Proceed with the appropriate facial treatment. Clean up and disinfect. Effleurage. A stroking movement. It is a light, continuous movement that should be applied in a slow and rhythmic manner over the skin with no pressure. Stroking movement with the fingertips. Petrissage. A kneading movement that is performed with light, firm pressure. Grasped between the thumb and fingers. Friction. A deep rubbing movement in which pressure is applied on the skin with the fingers or palms while moving over an underlying structure. Friction has been proven to be beneficial to the circulation and glandular activity of the skin. Percussion or tapotement. Consists of short, quick tapping, slapping, or hacking movements. Percussion movements. Vibration. A rapid shaking movement over the skin section with the fingertips or an electric massager or vibrator. Both methods are used to transmit a trembling movement to the skin and its underlying structures. The size of the mustache should correspond to the size of the client's features. For example, larger, thicker designs for heavier facial features and smaller, thinner designs for finer features. Following are important facial characteristics that influence mustache design. Width of the mouth. Size of the nose. Shape of upper lip area. Width of the cheeks, jaw, and chin. Density and texture of hair growth. As a general rule, be guided by the client's hair growth pattern and avoid cutting too deeply into natural hairlines. This approach will help to minimize daily maintenance as new growth occurs. Following are guidelines for mustache design and proportion. Large, coarse facial features, heavier looking mustache. Prominent nose, medium to large mustache. Long, narrow face, narrow to medium mustache. Extra large mouth, pyramid-shaped mustache. Extra small mouth, medium, short mustache. Smallish, regular features, smaller, triangular mustache. Wide mouth with prominent upper lip, heavier handlebar or large divided mustache. Round face with regular features, semi-square mustache. Square with prominent features, heavier, linear mustache with ends slightly curving downward. Additional services that may be offered with a mustache trim include waxing mustache ends, penciling with temporary color, coloring for evenness or compatibility with scalp hair color. Straight profiles tend to be the most balanced and proportioned because the forehead and chin align with only a slight curvature. A variety of hairstyles are appropriate for this profile type. Angular profiles have a receding forehead, but the chin tends to jut forward. This profile can appear more balanced by arranging the hair over the forehead and by adding a mustache and a close-cut beard to minimize the look of the protruding chin. Concave profiles have a prominent forehead and chin. Use a close hair arrangement at the forehead to minimize the bulge of the forehead. Convex profiles recede at the forehead and chin. This profile can appear straighter by creating the appearance of balance from the forehead to the chin. Experiment with arranging the hair at the front hairline to add volume and suggest the client wear a beard or goatee. This will help to balance out the projection of the nose by adding bulk to the features that recede. Oval. The oval-shaped face is generally recognized as the ideal shape. Any hairstyle that maintains the oval shape is usually suitable. Change the part or redirect the hair to experiment with different looks. Round. The aim here is to slim the face. Hair that is too short will emphasize the fullness of the face. Create some height on the top to lengthen the look of the face. An off-center part and some waves at eye level will also help lessen the full appearance of the face. Beards should be styled to make the face appear more oval. Inverted triangular. This facial shape has over-wide cheekbones and a narrow jawline. Keep the hair close at the crown and temples and longer in back. Try changing the part and the direction of the hair. A full beard helps to fill out the narrow jaw. Square. This shape has angular features at the forehead and jaw. Use wavy bangs that blend into the temples to an asymmetrical line. Minimize the square look by directing more hair to the temple areas. Beards should be styled to slenderize the face. Pear-shaped. This shape is narrow at the top and wide on the bottom. Create width and fullness at the top, temples, and sides to produce balance. Short, full styles are best, ending just above the jawline where it joins the ear area. Oblong. The long face needs to be visually shortened and its angularity softened. Layered bangs brushed to the sides over the temples can camouflage the front hairline, giving the illusion of a shorter facial shape. Wearing a mustache also helps to shorten the look of a longer face shape. Diamond. This face shape is narrow at the temples and chin. Create a style with width or fullness at the temples. Keep hair close to the head at the widest points of the face. Direct bangs off the face and into the sides to broaden the appearance of the forehead. A full, square, or rounded beard is also appropriate. Flat tops are very short on the sides and back area, with slightly longer hair at the upper parietal and front sections and a flat top section. The top of the crest area should look squared off when viewed from the front. Crew cuts have short, semi-short, or medium tapered side and back lengths with a top section that gradually increases in length from the crown to the front hairline. High and tight cuts are cut extremely close or shaved on the sides and back to a level at the bottom, midpoint, or top of the parietal ridge, where visible hair should be seen blending with a short top section of no more than a quarter inch in length. Depending on the client's preferences, the line of demarcation at the top of the parietal ridge can either be left as is or be blended into the top section. The fade style derives its name from the fact that the hair is longest in the top section and gradually fades down to nothing at the hairline. Like the high and tight cut, the back and sides are cut extremely close or shaved, with the hair becoming gradually longer at the parietal ridge and longest at the top. Taper cut is a well-blended, graduated cut that conforms to the head shape. A proper taper cut gradually increases in length from the hairline to the top section without any gaps or steps. Precision cut taper describes a variation in the cutting technique rather than a style description. The majority of the cut is performed using the fingers and shear cutting technique to taper and blend the hair from one section to another. A general rule to follow for using precision cutting on various hair textures is this: if the hair can be parted and picked up between the fingers to be put into a position for cutting, precision cutting can be performed. The hair should be clean and uniformly moist to enable you to maintain control of the hair while cutting and to produce the most precise cut. Classic pompadour is basically a medium to long taper cut with a long top section. Depending on the client's preferred length, short, medium, or long, the taper begins at the hairline and gradually increases in length through the back and sides to a long layered front and top section. Pompadour fade variation combines the very short nape, back, and side sections of a fade with the extra long top section of the classic cut. Classic Caesar style is cut with shears to create short, uniform layers from 1 to 2 inches throughout the head form. These short layers are often styled forward and down over the front hairline and may have a rounder appearance than other cuts. Today's versions of the Caesar may incorporate tapering or fading in the side and back areas with a uniform length in the top section that is styled forward. Older clients may not be familiar with new variations of the Caesar cut, so you will have to explain the differences to them to confirm what type of Caesar they have in mind. Quo Vadis is another uniformly cut style clippers are used to achieve its close, even all-over length. Hair shaft. Sweat pore of sideriferous, sweat, gland. Epidermis. Sebaceous, oil, gland. Dermis. Veins. Arteries. Cross-section of sideriferous, sweat, gland. Sweat duct of sideriferous, sweat, gland. Secretory coil of sideriferous gland. Structures of the skin. Mouth of follicle. Hair shaft. Sweat pore. Epidermis. Stratum corneum. Stratum lucidum. Stratum granulosum. Stratum spinosum. Stratum germinativum. Basal cell layer. Papillary layer of dermis. Dermis, true skin. Sebaceous, oil, gland. Erector pili muscle. Reticular layer of dermis. Dermal papilla. Arteries. Veins. Sideriferous, sweat, gland. Subcutaneous tissue. Adipose, fatty, tissue. Soft press removes 50 to 60% of the curl, accomplished by applying the pressing comb once to each side of the hair section. 2. Medium press removes 60 to 75% of the curl, performed in the same manner as the soft press, but with more pressure. 3. Hard press removes 100% of the curl. Involves 2 applications of the pressing comb on each side of the hair section. Dermal papilla is a small, cone-shaped elevation at the base of the hair follicle that fits into the hair bulb. The dermal papilla contains the blood and nerve supply that provides the nutrients needed for hair growth. Because of that, some people refer to the dermal papilla as the mother of the hair. The hair bulb is club-shaped structure that forms the lower part of the hair root and is the lowest part of the hair strand. The lower part of the hair bulb is hollow and fits over and covers the dermal papilla. The hair root is that portion of the hair enclosed within the follicle beneath the skin surface. The hair shaft is the portion of the hair we see extending above the skin surface. The hair follicle is the tube-like depression or pocket in the skin or scalp that contains the hair root. The base is the stationary foundation of the curl on which the barrel or roller is placed. The stem is the hair between the scalp and the first arc of the circle. It gives the hair direction and mobility. The circle forms the curl as the hair is wrapped around the barrel or roller. The ultimate size of the curl along the length of the hair shaft depends on how it is wrapped. Hair that falls at 0 elevation in natural fall elevated up to 180 degrees relative to head form. Blunt haircut. The blunt cut is also known as a one-length cut because all the hair strands end at one level to form a heavy weight line at the perimeter. Blunt cuts look like all the hair is the same length, but the hair is actually all falling to one point and is of varying lengths. The head should be held in an upright position to avoid shifting the hair out of its natural fall position. If the head is positioned forward, an undercut will be created. Graduated haircut. Listed are the characteristics of a graduated cut, 45 degrees. A graduated cut has a wedge or stacked shape that is created by cutting with tension at low to medium elevations. The most common elevation for a graduated cut is 45 degrees. Graduated cuts build weight and volume along the perimeter of the hairstyle. The graduated haircut can be accomplished with either horizontal or vertical partings. The horizontal method is described in the following procedure, with references to the vertical parting technique noted as applicable. Graduated haircut variation, stacked effect. Traveling guidelines. Uniform layered cut, 90 degrees. Listed are the characteristics of a uniform layered cut, 90 degrees. In a uniform layered cut, all of the hair strands are cut to the same length at a 90-degree elevation, straight out from where the hair grows. A traveling guide is used on the interior sections to create layers within the entire haircut. When finished, the cut will look soft and textured and conform to the head shape without weight lines or corners. A uniform layered cut can be used to cut short or long layered haircuts. Hold the hair that is being cut at a 90-degree elevation from where it grows, and always use a traveling guide. Long layered cut, 180 degrees. Listed are the characteristics of a long layered cut, 180 degrees. A long layered cut consists of increased layering that is achieved by cutting the hair at a 180-degree elevation. This cut produces progressively longer layers from the top to the perimeter. The hair on top of the head is shorter than the hair closer to the perimeter/exterior guide. Sometimes a long layered haircut begins with a stationary guide in the top section of the head. Position lamp at a distance of 30 inches from the skin. Total exposure time should not exceed 5 minutes. Infrared ray lamp. Position lamp at a distance of 30 inches from the skin. Total exposure time should not exceed 5 minutes. Position lamp 30 to 36 inches from the skin. Apply light rays to clean, dry skin. Start with a 2 or 3 minute exposure and gradually increase exposure time to 7 or 8 minutes. UV rays. Position lamp 30 to 36 inches from the skin. Apply light rays to clean, dry skin. Start with a 2 or 3 minute exposure and gradually increase exposure time to 7 or 8 minutes. Handle, tang, pivot, shank, shoulder, heel, back, blade, edge, head, point. Finger brace, finger grip, shank, thumb grip, pivot screw, still blade, moving point, cutting edges, still point. Point cutting. pH-balanced shampoos, also known as acid-balanced shampoos, are balanced to the pH level of hair and skin and usually contain citric, lactic, or phosphoric acid. These shampoos are mild formulations designed to prevent the stripping of hair color from the hair. They have a low alkaline content, which makes them a good choice for normal, chemically treated, and fragile hair. Follow the manufacturer's directions, but most pH-balanced shampoos can be used daily. Balancing shampoos are designed for oily hair and scalps. These shampoos wash away excess oiliness while keeping the hair from drying out. Clarifying shampoos contain an active chelating agent that binds to metals, such as iron and copper, and removes them from the hair. They also provide thorough cleansing and cut-through product buildup that can coat and flatten hair. For these reasons, clarifying shampoos are recommended for preparing the hair for chemical services or to remove medication or hard water minerals from the hair. Color-enhancing shampoos are created by combining the surfactant with basic colors. They are attracted to porous hair and provide only slight color changes, which are removed with plain shampooing. Color shampoos are used to brighten the hair, add slight color, and eliminate unwanted color tones. Conditioning shampoos, also known as moisturizing shampoo, are mild cream shampoos that contain moisturizing agents, humectants, designed either to lock in the moisturizing properties of the product or to draw moisture into the hair. They are formulated to make the hair smooth and shiny and to avoid damaging chemically treated hair. Protein and biotin are conditioning agents that help restore moisture and elasticity, strengthen the hair shaft, and add volume. Like pH-balanced shampoos, moisturizing shampoos are non-stripping shampoos and do not remove artificial color from the hair. Medicated shampoos contain antifungal agents such as parithione zinc, selenium sulfide, or ketoconazole, which help control dandruff by suppressing the growth of malassezia, the fungus that causes dandruff. These shampoo products are available for all hair types and are gentle enough for daily use. Yellow, blue, red. Primary colors: yellow, blue, red. Green, violet, orange. Secondary colors: green, violet, orange. Blue and orange, red and green, yellow and violet. Complementary colors neutralize each other. Complementary colors: blue and orange, red and green, yellow and violet. Tertiary colors are blue-green, blue-violet, red-violet, red-orange, yellow-green, yellow-orange. warm colors, and cool colors. Level is a unit of measurement used to identify the lightness or darkness of a color. Level is the saturation, density, or concentration of color. Colors lighten when mixed with white. Colors darken when mixed with black. Hair level chart. The level system is used to analyze the lightness or darkness of a hair color. 1 is the darkest, black. 10 is the lightest, blonde. The level system. Saturation or intensity refers to the degree of concentration or amount of pigment in the color. It is the strength of a color. Intensity. Deeper saturated. Intense. Subtle. Muted. Base colors. The base color predominant tone of a color. Eumelanin provides natural black and brown pigment color to the hair. Pheomelanin provides yellow, blonde, and red pigment color to the hair. Cortex. The cortex gives the hair its strength, flexibility, elasticity, and shape. A clear filler is designed to correct the porosity without affecting the color and does not deposit a color base. Strengths of hydrogen peroxide. Volume. Measures the concentration and strength of hydrogen peroxide. Tone. Describes the warmth or coolness of a color. The effect of pH on hair. Very strong acid, pH 0.0, 1.0. Dissolves hair completely. Must not be applied to hair or scalp. Strong to mild acid, pH 1.0, 4.5. Hair shrinks and hardens. Body is increased. Cuticle imbrications close up. Porosity is reduced. Sheen of hair is improved. Soap residues are removed. Neutralizes traces of alkalis. Acid or cream rinses restore body to bleached, porous hair. Conditioners and fillers overcome the excess porosity of damaged hair. Special shampoos reduce tangling and matting of hair and prevent color loss. Hair creams increase sheen. Color rinses provide temporary effect. Neutralizers remove residual waving lotion. Neutral, pH 4.5, 5.5. Hair is normal diameter. Texture and luster standard. Neutral solutions are designed to prevent excess swelling of normal and damaged hair. Mild shampoos for normal cleaning and manageability of hair. Mild alkali, pH 5.5, 10.0. Hair swells. Porosity increases as imbrications open. Hair has a dry, drab appearance. Tints and bleaches penetrate easier and chemical action increases. Cold wave solutions for resistant hair. Soap shampoos to overcome acidity of tap water. Activators for hydrogen peroxide. Stronger alkali, pH 10.0, 14.0. Dissolves hair completely. Must not be applied to hair or scalp unless used as relaxers or depilatories. The pH scale. Acidic left. Neutral 7. Alkaline right. Acid perm. Acid balanced waves. pH of 7.8 to 8.2. Wave solution. Activator equals glyceryl monothioglycolate, GMG. Neutralizer. Alkaline perms, cold waves. The first alkaline or cold waves were developed in 1941. The main active ingredient or reducing agent in alkaline perms is ammonium thioglycolate, ATG. The pH range of 9.0 to 9.6. True acid waves. pH range between 4.5 and 7.0. Alkaline waves, cold waves pH between 9.0 and 9.6. Acid waves, glyceryl monothioglycolate main ingredient, low pH. True acid waves. pH of 4.5 to 7.0. Acid balanced. pH of 7.8 to 8.2. Hydroxide relaxers. pH over 13. Endothermic waves. Perm-activated processing by an outside heat source, usually a hood-type dryer. Exothermic waves. Chemical reaction that heats the solution and speeds up processing. Wave solution. Activator. Neutralizer. Selecting the correct relaxer. Sodium hydroxide. 12.5 to 13.5. Very effective for extremely curly hair. May cause scalp irritation and damage the hair. Lithium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. 12.5 to 13.5. Very effective for extremely curly hair. May cause scalp irritation and damage the hair. Guanidine hydroxide. 13 to 13.5. Causes less skin irritation than other hydroxide relaxers. More drying to hair with repeated use. Ammonium thioglycolate. 9.6 to 10.0. Compatible with soft curl permanent waves. Strong, unpleasant ammonia smell. Ammonium sulfite or ammonium bisulfite. 6.5 to 8.5. Less damaging to hair. Does not relax extremely curly hair sufficiently. Preliminary test curl for a permanent wave. Drape the client for shampoo. 2. Gently shampoo and towel dry hair. Avoid irritating the client's scalp. Redrape the client for a chemical service. 3. Wrap one rod in each different area of the head, top, side, and nape. 4. Wrap a coil of cotton around each rod. 5. Apply perm solution to the wrapped curls. Do not allow perm solution to come into contact with unwrapped hair. 6. Set a timer and process according to the manufacturer's directions. 7. Check each test curl frequently for proper curl development. Unfasten the rod and unwind the curl about 1 to 2 turns of the rod. Do not allow the hair to become loose or completely unwound. Gently move the rod toward the scalp to encourage the hair to fall loosely into the wave pattern. 8. Curl development is complete when a firm S is formed that reflects the size of the rod used. Different hair textures will have slightly different S formations. The wave pattern for fine, thin hair may be weak, with little definition. The wave pattern for coarse, thick hair is usually stronger and better defined. 9. When the desired curl has been formed, rinse thoroughly with warm water for at least 5 minutes, blot thoroughly, apply neutralizer, and process according to the manufacturer's directions. Gently dry the hair and evaluate the results. Do not proceed with the permanent wave if the test curls are extremely damaged or over-processed. If the test curl results are satisfactory, proceed with the perm, but do not re-perm these preliminary test curls. Rinse and process the test rods, but wait to remove them with the rest of the rods after the perm is completed.